everyone, welcome to Fandom Family Chats. I'm your host Jeanette, and today I'm joined by Maureen. Oh,
Hello.
hello. Josh.
Hi.
Amanda.
Hello.
Bethany.
Hi.
And our very special guest star, Michael Hogan, who plays Dr. Nolan on The Resident.
Hi, everybody.
So thank you and welcome, Michael.
It's a pleasure to be here.
We're so excited to have you. We're really excited and about the new season. And it's just a wonderful way to commemorate that.
Yeah, I'm excited for the season too. I've got a bit of a gap in between my first episode and my next episode.
Mhm.
So I'm actually probably as much in the dark as you are. I just sort of saw the police knock on the door when he's got the kid, and I was like, oh, he's doing drugs again.
We all know what's going to happen, so.
Oh, well, then.
Uh-oh.
We can't talk about that on video because
No,
we're all
we
going to
can't.
weep. We tried that once.
Exactly.
We don't know for sure. Let me just
Sure.
throw it out there.
We
They
have our
dummy
ideas.
strips all over the place.
Yeah.
I would like to hear your fan theory, though. What do you think? How do you think that storyline is going to play out? What do you think is going to happen? Because they make it seem one way, but
Yes, I don't think it's ever good when the cops show up at your house
right.
at the end of an episode.
No.
That's true. No.
So if you're in an episode in your life and you're nearing the end of your episode at that moment, just don't answer the door. Just
Right.
maybe you can forestall whatever is going to happen to your wife, but I was just happy
man.
to get the wedding.
There you go. You'll always have that memory.
There you go.
Now, the one thing we were talking about is that now that, well, I mean, she's not officially gone, but now that Nick is going away, Barrett Kane is being replaced, as they said on last week's episode, and Mina is gone. We are hoping that some of the other doctors like you, Dr. Nolan and Dr. Irving, were the two that we wanted to see more of. So
Yes.
we're hoping that your arc kind of gets pushed because we got a little bit of you in the earlier seasons.
Yeah.
Just glimpses.
Trust me, I'm right with you there.
Yeah.
If I'm not pitching an idea for Nolan, then I'm not awake. So
Exactly.
I mean, the writers' room and the people in the writers' room are sick of it.
Well, good. Keep pressuring them.
We're here to back you up now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you're not pitching, you're losing. That's the way I look at it. So, from your lips to God's ears, because I love to work and I love the people on that set. I love working with everyone on that set, and so I'm always, I've pitched a couple semi-outlandish things, and so that the things that are a little closer to the bullseye seem like very sane. But
There you go.
yeah.
That seems like a solid plan to me.
He hears this and she's like, you know what? They always say that they're trying to get me in, and I always appreciate it because they try and wedge me into anything, and I appreciate that.
Can you tell us some of the outlandish theories that you've pitched to them?
Well, there's, part of the problem with the outlandish stuff is that it would take too many pages, obviously.
Of course.
And I try and get it running over a course of a season, something like, he's got a big secret. That could be anything, like a child somewhere, which was taken this season, obviously. And then, which I saw last week, that kid's really good. I can't wait to meet him. I'm going on set this week, and I think I got a scene with him. I'm very excited to keep playing Trevor.
Oh, that's
Okay.
awesome. That's awesome.
So maybe they did take that idea.
Not for you.
Uh-oh.
Somebody who's really great looking, like her.
You should just put,
Is my only warning. Be careful what you pitch because it looks great on other people too.
oh no. Just get some writer's credit or something.
What you have to do is submit it in writing and then buy a copyright for that idea and then
Perfect.
market it and then hand it in.
I'd mail it to myself.
There you go.
That's the way to do it.
So
Or you
is-
just tell it to us here, and we have the time, the date, and everything marked. And then
There you go.
Like viral.
What's that?
Please,
What went viral?
Yeah. We could make that happen.
we
We
could
have
make it
that
happen.
kind of power.
We could, yeah.
all kinds of things like he's he escalates in the hierarchy as far as where he's working in the hospital, or he even if it's something like he just a definitive sort of good guy bad guy move, it might shorten my time on the show, but just to make a mark would be great. I don't know, but again, like I say, if I'm not pitching, I'm not awake. So
Yeah.
It'll get there. We'll finally get that one pitch and be like, okay, we're running with it.
exactly. Who knows? Maybe I'm the guy that pulls the detonator on the entire hospital for the last like Oz or whatever.
Oh no.
That'll be the series ender.
Exactly.
Series
Drop it.
finale.
Oh
I could just
my.
do that.
So how did you hear about this role? How did you get into it? Like what was your audition like in that?
I auditioned for this in LA. And the guy who was the showrunner then, Todd Harthan, was my first agent, and I always say continues to be my best agent. And he started running this, and I was out there, and he said, maybe something on The Resident, maybe we can get something for you there. And it's like, yeah, I was like, I could be a janitor, I could be a cook, I could be all these people that are always at a hospital every day.
Mhm.
An orderly or anything, and I'm looking at old episodes of ER and being like, okay, that's a guy that's always there. That's a guy that's always there. I can do that. Like the roller skate guy in the roller skate orderly nurse in the Harrison Ford movie with Tommy Lee Jones.
Mhm.
Somebody, right? And they had me audition for Steve Rosen's role before Steve Rosen auditioned for it. He played York.
Okay.
So I went in for York, and they said, he's, it makes sense. It's totally, he kind of he showed us something that he can do. And my other friend James Roday was directing that episode, and I said to him, who'd be perfect for the role of York actually would be our other good friend Steve Rosen. He'd be perfect for it, and that's who wound up doing it. I don't think I pitched him for it, but I'm sure that James had him in mind also. It was just a coincidence. But they came back and they said, well, we're thinking of adding a doctor who's like a trauma guy or something like that. And I said, sure, of course. And so I went in LA, and they said, sure, any problems going to Atlanta? And I said, no problems at all. And then they said they were thinking of making it a runner, and I just plunked down on an apartment. And so I decided to move here.
Nice.
Wow.
Saying Atlanta
That's
over
awesome.
and over, and pretty soon you have to take heed of that, and you have to go for it.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and I love the way you have your room decorated as well. That's awesome.
My girlfriend's room. She is the executive director of the Atlanta Contemporary Art Museum. Free
Wow.
every day except Monday. And it is a curated salon back here. It is something else.
It's beautiful.
Wow.
That is a beautiful room.
It really is. We redid the chocolate wall just recently. And she got me a Christmas present, which is actually I don't know if you can see, it's a painting.
Oh, yeah, I see it. How sweet.
So this is I see her do Zoom meetings here all the time, and so I said, hey,
This is perfect.
There
This
you
is
go.
my space now.
You're taking it over.
Isn't The Resident also filmed in an art gallery or an art museum?
At times it films at the High Museum of Art,
Mm.
which is the big sort of New York Yankees art center of Atlanta. But we film in like the atrium area, where it's really nice. It's very swank, high ceilings. I mean, you've seen it. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to get them to do something at the Atlanta Contemporary, because it's a very interesting space, and it shows very interesting art. And it gets used for a lot of other shows, and I think we should use it because it's sort of a gem on the west side.
Mhm.
I encourage anybody to go check it out. They have a great exhibit up there now.
Awesome.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, it sounds
Fantastic.
That big building then that we see on the outside, where, I mean, I guess, is that the actual?
That's the exterior of the High. I hope I'm
Oh,
not
the High.
getting
Oh,
spoiled
very
if
cool.
you didn't want to. No, but, yeah.
No.
No, it's great.
Anybody who's been to the High knows that that's the High.
That's awesome. Well, that must be fun,
But
sitting there
whoever
watching
tuned
it.
into the High knows from that angle that that's the High.
Wait. So there's not a real Atlanta General? Is it we can't actually go
There's
there?
no
We just sit?
Chastain for real.
Oh no.
So, yeah, Atlanta General is where we send people when our ER is crowded. Send them to Atlanta
Exactly.
General, which is like,
Right.
I don't know what that is, but yeah.
They're always
Exactly.
talking about it, but you never see it. So maybe a figment.
Atlanta General, they take all the and Emory, and oh damn, Emory's a real hospital. General's a real hospital, and I know Grady is a real hospital.
Wow.
You just mix it in with all the real ones.
Yeah, sort of create ourselves within there. Yeah,
Makes it feel more real.
yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, I'm just glad that they're shooting Atlanta for Atlanta, which is kind of cool.
Right.
No, so that's keeping my move here more viable. It's like, this is a real place where real people live, and it's kind of cool.
That's awesome. It's
Is
incredible.
the
And I'm
shooting
sure
thing- Oh, I'm sorry.
no, this I'm sure it's exciting for the fans that actually like live in Atlanta to sit down and watch it. Be like, hey, that's my city, you know?
Yeah, I can see my house from here.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And the shooting pace has got to be, is it better in Atlanta, or is it a lot slower than it is in LA, or it's just the same?
Well,
Or
we shoot at a television pace, so we try and shoot out as many pages in a day as possible. Feature pace is a lot slower. We generally we move a lot faster than that, so that when you get on a different set, I have friends that are also working in television and film, and every once in a while when they've got that hiatus and they go to a feature, they feel like they're walking in mud because everything is so slow. This is a brisk pace. COVID aside, it's a brisk pace. We do what we can. We have a hold up every once in a while because of COVID testing and stuff like that, but it's the reality we live in now. But we go fast. It's great.
Awesome.
and you're filming like how far in advance? I mean, is it weeks, months, or?
Probably about a month in advance. I see what number 3 is coming out this week.
Mhm.
And I think we're putting up 7 this week. So we like
Very
to
cool.
keep 3 or 4 ahead.
Mhm.
That way there's
Wow.
a decent buffer for editing and I guess, any unfortunate occurrences, anything that could happen, somebody gets sick, we're padded a little bit there.
Right.
Great.
But don't quote me, I'm not the line producer.
That's awesome. I love that.
So did you when did you decide, or when did you know that you wanted to be in the entertainment industry, or was this something that you just kind of always knew you wanted to be an actor?
No, I didn't. I got hurt playing football when I was about 14, 15 years old.
Oh, wow.
Went to a pretty competitive football school, and you had to play football. And I got hurt. And instead of doing football that fall, I did the running crew. And then the next year, instead of doing the running crew, which is the behind the scenes people,
Mhm.
I was old enough to do the play. And my mom said, "Why don't you do the play?" I said, "We don't want to do the play. We don't want to do the play. Do the play. We'll do the running crew." And she's like, "I think you should do the play." And she was right. I should do the play. It's a great way to figure things out. And that was probably that. How many times has somebody said, "We did that production of Godspell, and we were just off and running for our lives." It's true. It was Godspell, and it was awesome, and it was a real great feeling to especially have a show that was directed by our theater. I guess the guy running the theater department, Milton Zoth. He was a real big influence on me and a couple of my friends, and we just. It was a very unique angle on it, and everyone was pitching in. And I was lucky to be in something that was creatively interesting and that worked, and we pulled it off, and it was how it should be. So, it's like waking up on third base. You think this is the best thing ever. You think you hit a triple. So, I kept looking for more opportunities like that, and people fostered that in me, and I guess so. It's thanks to my mom.
How often did that come up when you were like, "Mom, I don't know if I'm going to take your advice," and you'd be like, "Hey, remember when I said that?" And I was
Oh yeah, sure. She's been holding that over me for however many years now.
I am that mom, so I have to have confidence. in
Yeah,
my
there you go.
moms like
Listen to your mom, kids. Listen to your mom.
There you go.
And the other question I have to ask, whenever this is brought up, I'm a huge football fan.
Yeah.
So
Woo, me
I
too.
need to know, who is your team?
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
I can
Uh-oh.
answer that with one quick.
I feel like this is going to bite me.
We get a visual aid.
Uh-oh.
Originally, and if you know anything about the NFL, you know that they ripped us off twice.
Mhm.
So this is my brief editorial about how the NFL is kind of a crime syndicate. But when the St. Louis football Cardinals left town, I picked up with the worst team I could get my hands on, which is why to this day, blood in, blood out, I am a fan of.
No,
Wait,
Really?
I can't make it out.
that's the
Really?
Buccaneers.
There you go.
Oh,
No.
look, you're back on top.
Yeah.
Hey,
I don't know,
yeah.
the most
This
hated
cat
team
has
in
got to
NFL
be
for me.
30, 40 years. I don't know if Logo Athletic is, I mean, I don't even know if that's a company anymore. It was great, those, like the Zumba pants or whatever, like the big blousey. But anyway, yeah, Buccaneers in and out. That's my guy.
Woo. Well, I'm a huge, okay, I know I probably am public enemy number one for saying this, but my teams, they've always been like the most hated in the NFL. I'm a huge Cowboys fan because I'm from Texas, so that's my team. Woo, man has got it. And I'm also a huge Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski fan. So I'm totally following the Buccaneers. So the first game of the season was big for me because like those are both of my teams like fighting. I was like literally rooting for both sides.
That was a
So-
fun game. Yeah. I mean, look, you are welcome along on the Buccaneer galleon.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, you're just swabbing the decks at this point.
Well, that's what I feel. I was like, because there's definitely a difference between, like a fan of the team. And I realized that I was like a fan of, the players. But then once I started watching the Buccaneers, I was like, hey, this is pretty cool. Like I'm getting into it. So I'll take it. I'll take swapping the decks. I'll take it.
Whole nine.
I have to say, I didn't mind the Buccaneers before. Now I hate them.
Ah,
Oh,
Aw.
Prior to this year, I didn't mind them.
yeah. Well, we'll
I'm
take
the same way.
We'll take your hatred.
Yeah.
See, I'm a Wisconsin girl.
Oh, okay.
So
You're
I'm
playing
a
right
back-
now. Sorry to
I
say.
know.
Yeah.
She's watching it while she's talking to you. I just want you to know.
Yeah,
that,
It's
that
on
first
somewhere in this room while we're talking.
yeah.
But
Well,
I just came back
can
from
tell
a
that I can tell what color green that is that you're wearing.
I got my Packers shirt on.
Okay.
They won the last time I wore this shirt, so I can't change it on Sundays now.
Yep.
It's the
No,
only thing
that's-
I'm superstitious
Now you're
about.
talking like a fan.
A problem, and I'm willing to admit that
No.
I'm Maureen and I have a problem.
I have a pair of socks in the corner of the room that that have not moved since the St. Louis baseball Cardinals went on a winning streak of 17 games.
I
and it's
love
like,
it.
they don't move.
That's awesome.
I have a jersey. I've never really did that before until I got a jersey. A Jason Witten jersey was pink, and so I was like, "This is my favorite thing ever." I wore it for every Cowboys game, and they started doing well, and they started winning, and I was like, "Nah, this is just coincidence." And then I spilled. I don't know if you're familiar with Julio's chips. It's like if a huge where I live in Del Rio in Texas. It's like a big deal. The Julio's chips and salsa homemade. And I'm eating Julio's chips during the game. It's like a thing, Cowboys and Julio's.
Now you're playing with fire there.
I did, and I got the Julio salsa all over the
All
jersey.
over it.
And so I said, I'll wash it.
Oh,
Didn't think anything
no,
of it.
no.
They didn't win a single game the rest of the season. And I think it's because
Amateur
like
hour over here.
the-
You realize what you just admitted
Stephanie.
to every
Yeah,
single
it's her
fan.
fault.
Yeah.
That's
Dude.
right.
Your house is gonna
Every
burn down.
Cowboys
it was the Julio salsa. I think it was like holy anointing it or something.
Uh-huh.
So when it washed it away.
Yep.
I
So
will hand it to the Buccaneers though for that first game against the Cowboys this season. Everybody was like, "We lost, but we've never been more happy." It's just like,
Yeah, it's neat. I mean, tonight's an interesting one too. As far as
Yes.
coming home, I guess. I mean, I hated him when he was with those guys, but this will be quite interesting. I mean, we're the new baby, I guess. So
Oh, and it
Well,
seems like
he's about to hit a big milestone, isn't
yeah,
he?
he can break
68 more yards.
or something.
Yes, we should just all turn the game on now. No, it's not till what time is it at? I don't
no,
know.
it's not that easy.
We'll just virtually tailgate like losers.
Right,
love that.
right. I could put more salsa all over my shirt.
Exactly. Just go the opposite direction. Just cover yourself in salsa.
That's it. Just like drench myself in it. Like I never like did anything like that before. So
That's right.
never thought it.
Baptism by Chile Verde.
There you go. Oh man.
I'm sorry. I always turn one of these into a football chat, and over half of us
Sunday.
are always like,
Sunday,
"Can
what are
we,
you
can we
gonna
move it on?" So I apologize,
right.
Jeanette, for bringing that up.
Right. So bringing it back to the resident, right? So you mentioned a little bit about the time on set. Can you tell us more about the filming process and just what it's like on set?
So when I am there, I observe that things. It's interesting because the past couple of years we've kind of had people circle in and out as far as the crew. It's been a stable crew, 2, 3, and 4, and now 5, but it switches over almost completely wholesale. So the beginning episodes are a little bit getting to know each other and sort of learning how people work. But by the 3rd, 4th episode, 5th episode, things move along really, really fluidly. The props department, I think, is the only fully intact department. My boy Mario, can't live without him. He's great. Mario and Joe are my 2 guys that basically they have me kitted up with my my Bertucci, which is my watch, and my candy, or my whatever they're gonna do to make me look like a clown. So they're great, and I enjoy working with them a whole lot. You know, we do coverage, and then I'm gone. It's pretty simple on my end because I'm not, like I said, they don't get involved with me on the drama too much, but you know, they used to on like the I think the end of the 2nd season or something. They had kind of cliffhung me there, and then I guess they decided to go on to something else.
There's drama though, I think, because I mean, I think Dr. Nolan's got what is it, a wild past? You know, what was it? You ended up in
Sure,
St. Louis or something. It was like
Exactly right. Exactly. They, you know, that's they that's close to making me a little bit of a character there, and so they, you know, and also stuff with my my fiance leaving me and stuff like that, and you know, it's like, oh, what are you doing here for Thanksgiving? It's like, it was not good.
Oh.
Stuff like that, and
Yeah.
that's so he is still a bit of a mystery, but we know that he's got some blues jams in the catalog for sure.
Yeah.
I love that. I'd love to see them expand on some of that, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot
Yeah.
of backstory there that they can definitely elaborate on for sure. And I love the scene when he's wheeling down the patient to get, was it the first episode of the season?
Yeah.
Right. And it's just like, you knew something was coming because like it was just a little too obvious. Like, I'll take him down, and you knew something was gonna lead out of that.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. That guy was really nice. He was fun. He definitely, he sat around all day. It's like people think that it's oh, it's no problem. I'm gonna be a patient, no problem. But you know, sitting in the surgery situation, if you're in the OR, man, you don't ever want to end up in the OR. That's a long day of like sitting in the barber chair, like, oh my God, what's going on here?
Oh, no.
People think
So
it's gonna be a breeze, but it's always like we're walking around, we're drinking coffee, we're eating donuts, we're smoking and joking, and you know, it's like they're like, "Can I have a sip of water, please?"
So what you're saying is that it's the same in real life
It's the same.
and,
Yeah.
and on in TV. Okay.
Exactly. Being a patient is no fun, no matter how you cut it.
Oh man.
Do you have like a favorite memory from being on set, or maybe just a favorite scene that you filmed?
I liked. I had so much fun at the Nick Conrad wedding. I mean, there must be enough tape of me on the floor of that editing suite to go back and forth to the moon. But I had a hell of a time in the middle of nowhere, Georgia. It was out in Monroe County or something. Gorgeous place and a real fun time. It was the first episode back, and it was, you know, it wasn't my first gig back from COVID, but you know, it was fun to be with those people again. It was a real collegial atmosphere, and we're all happy to be back, and sort of the questions about whether or not we were going to get the season underway and when it was going to happen. That was just a great feeling all around.
Awesome.
Yeah.
When did you know that you were going to be able to do something during COVID?
Well, it kind of hit us right in stride. from what I remember, we sort of got really lucky with going down at the right time. I think we had to cut a few episodes off, and so it wasn't ideal, but it could have cut half a season off.
Mhm.
I think it only cut off 2 or 3 episodes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, or maybe just 2 episodes, because
Okay.
I think the thing where Conrad is offered the head or the CEO or something like that in the lobby was part of the finale that they put into the second to last episode, because we lost the last episode. We were cross-boarding it, we weren't finished shooting it.
Oh.
And then we had a lot of time to figure out what is going to happen with the protocols and stuff like that, or some time, not a lot of time. And, the industry set down standards, and the showrunners and Rob Korn and David Hartley and all of those guys got us in line. They were great. And, it's very tedious to shoot COVID stuff, as far as like, the testing and the distancing and the stopping for fogging and stuff. And and if there's problems with tests on set, you have to basically stop everything. And that was not wonderful at the start for anybody, let alone us. I'm sure everyone had those sort of growing pains, but it was the world's worst phrase that everyone's saying over and over. It's the new normal.
Yeah.
And it slows things down. It makes things difficult, but we eventually got much better at it. And that's another sort of shout out to our crew, is they dealt with all the PPE and the shutdowns and the testing every day. And they did it, once the rocky road started getting smoothed out, they were back to business as usual. They're so good.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And it's funny because we don't think about it, and from a consumer side or somebody who's watching something, especially during COVID, it's just like, for some of us, there was not a lot of things to do, right? Other than turn on the TV and, finish the shows that you were watching or start new ones. But the ones that you were already following along, the ones that you'd already invested in that were in prime time, and then they disappear, and it's just sort of like, oh man, now we got to wait. And then you're in this limbo of wondering when it's going to come back.
Yeah.
And then you don't realize that the work and the extra effort that you all went through just to get us that. And so, it's crazy.
Happy to work at all in this situation, obviously. And we're all bummed that there's no second season of Tiger King.
Isn't there now?
I heard there was something. There was a rumor.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess
Don't
maybe the guy
understand
who
what they're
took
going to
it-
do with it, but
Well,
Yeah.
there's somebody who took over it.
Mm.
One of the guys on Tiger King just died, totally off
Oh.
Whoa.
schedule, but
Yes. Well, we all remember when that was the craziest thing.
That
that was
was
nice. That was a nice time.
That was nice.
I think what happened with Tiger King is it took us all our focus away from the rest of the world that maybe have just been starting to fall apart.
Right.
So we
That
got
was the shot across the bow that we should have really listened to, I think.
maybe
That's
so.
true.
So how would you compare yourself to Dr. Nolan? Like, do you all share similarities? Are you?
We're both very handsome, first of all.
Good answer.
accurate. Yep.
I don't know. I mean, I just sort of take what they give me and try and expound on it and try and make it as colorful and as interesting and something that serves the story as best as possible. I'm not sure if I see much of myself in Nolan, but a lot of the things that I try to expound upon or expand upon have to come from, something that I'm doing personally that I know. So I try to make him as earnest and as true as possible while being as interesting as possible, and not let him be a totally surface clown.
Mhm.
But sometimes when they want surface clown, you get up there and
Exactly.
you dance.
Yeah. I think it works though. And because I think I've said this to other people, but when, even though he has a smaller part in a lot of the things, when he's on screen, like I notice and I watch.
Yeah.
I mean, so I think all of us are definitely rooting for.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm doing
Yeah.
everything except setting fires on set.
Right.
That's the next season.
It's part of being someone out there who's pitching. I make them tell me to dial it back because
Yeah.
Well, it's working.
they can always tell you we need a little more. You never want to get a note like we could use a little something here.
Yeah.
You can always dial it back, and that's sort of a note to people who, get caught trying, and make something that you're doing serve the episode, but also be interesting at the same time.
Yeah.
Be real, be touched in with what a real person would do and think. But it's you have to deal with the fact that you're going to pitch and you're going to try and offer ideas, and it's collaborative, and some people say no in ways that are harsh, and some people see what you're trying to do as a value, and some people don't care for that. And you learn that pretty quick, and then you adjust, and you sort of you still keep trying to add service and add value to the episode, but I don't have a lot of ammunition here, so I have to take my shots very, very, very carefully. And you're listening to a very specific type of person who works on the show. I don't have volumes of speech like Malcolm does or Bruce does. They've got plenty of things to pick apart and notes to give to producers and writers and stuff like that. I've got a line here and a line there and an activity here and an activity there, and I have to really pick my spots carefully.
And when you said like give more, and then they'll tell you to scale it back. We were talking to Corbin Burns, and he was saying the same thing in the scene after Nick was stabbed, and his reaction to that. He said he probably did like quadruple the amount of not only time on there of acting, but like he felt like he even overacted it. Like he gave it like 200%.
Make them rein you in.
Right.
Jeff said there's only two directions. I think he said to Roman Polanski, there's only two directions you can give: a little more or a little less. And you don't want to be in that situation where the director's looking over there going, God, this guy's not saying anything. What the hell's going on here?
Right.
Rather have them say, whoa, okay, all right. You're going in that you've taken a tack. You've made a choice, and you're in that choice. Give me that choice at 7 or 3 even. You can't see what's going on.
Yeah.
They're seeing it in the box, and they're seeing how it relates to everything in the room.
Right.
So it's up to you to come with your intentions and your ideas, and it's their job to say this is how it fits in.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that's a credit to you too, because like you were saying a minute ago, you may have less lines than Malcolm or something like that, but the time that you do have on screen, it's very, very good, because I mean you've got a lot of like people like Dr. Nolan. It's just like if something were to happen to him, we would be devastated. You know what I mean? It's just like, so
I appreciate that. I appreciate that someone would say something like that. I appreciate that because it's obviously I even with what I have, I know what I've got, and I concentrate on it. It's worth anything worth doing. Obviously, is worth doing, right?
Absolutely.
What are you given on who your character is? Like when they give you the character description, did they give you any background, Dr. Nolan, to kind of formulate it?
It was very God, I don't even remember what usually the breakdown was who they're looking for, as far as he male, any ethnicity, and can play 25 to 45. And so
that's a credit to you.
Yeah, I can play 25 to 45.
Yeah.
I think it should be like closer to 26, but whatever.
Who's really counting?
I didn't realize that Nolan is actually 80. But yeah, so they give you very vague stuff as far as, because they want to see the widest pool possible, I guess. And then you go in there and you try and make your mark in that audition. And that's really a place where you don't want to be stuck on 2. You want to be up at 7.
Yeah.
So they say, well, we almost knocked over the lights there, but okay.
But you showed up.
Yeah, you showed up. Thank you. Yes, exactly. Like Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
There you go.
It's Sunday. You got to throw in the football references.
Definitely. Come on.
Sunday
You got your start in theater. Is there something you prefer over theater over acting, or are they kind of equal for you? They both just love doing that kind of work, or is there one that's
Yeah, I love doing theater because the same reason I think almost every actor who does both or all, it's because it's a tightrope walk. It's sort of it's a living entity. There's people, I was talking about someone was saying they watched Hamilton on Disney Plus and they didn't quite get it. And then they saw it live and they were like in tears. And there's a static layer between you and your audience when you're on TV, and especially when it's like a musical, like a huge spectacle like Hamilton was. You're just seeing nothing of it. There's nothing to it. And when you're in that atmosphere, there's something that's behind you and all around you that is dangerous, that's heightened, and it's really wonderful. That being said, I love the ability to wake up at a different time and show up at 4 o'clock and have lunch and have coffee and sort of loll around in my costume, which is essentially pajamas. And
oh, nice.
I'll go over my lines and sort of rehearse and be relaxed and do my thing and okay, see you guys later. Whereas the regimented lifestyle of a theater is every day I wake up at this specific time. I have my coffee at this specific time. I go to call at this specific time. I have fight call. I have whatever stretching or vocal or scene work I have to do beforehand that we do to get going. It is a total routine that you want to keep going every time, like a baseball, like Wade Boggs eats a chicken dinner before every game, sort of the same routine that you have to be in so that you give yourself your best opportunity to be your best that night for the people who pay to see you live that night. And that's really, that lifestyle is interesting and fun, and it's regimented, and you've got time to think about what you're doing all day and how's it going to go tonight and how did that go last night, did we talk about this last night? And it's a living entity all the time. And TV is a really nice, quick, immediate gratification, and it pays better. Largely.
Definitely.
I'm sure. So how is it like, I mean, obviously hours of practice and professionalism goes into, stage performance, but what is it like in comparison? I mean, obviously when you're in front of a camera, you can just reshoot it and edit, but what is it like when you're in the middle on stage and something happens that if it were on in front of a camera, you would have redone it, but you don't have that luxury.
First thing you always train yourself to do is not to tense up, to stay relaxed, to stay breathing. My dear friend Neil Magnuson once forgot a crucial prop to a one-act play that we did, and we had to vamp for 2.5 minutes in a one-act play where it's me and my other actress were we were making up anything we could, and finally he came back on with the crucial prop. I mean, my other good friend Jim Butts tells I don't know if it would happen to him. I think it did happen to him. The most hilarious thing in the world I'm stealing your story, Jim.
That's okay. We don't mind.
We won't tell
him.
He was doing West Side Story. I think it's at a high school called CBC, or it was in a college that he was doing at the time. And they were doing West Side Story, and it's who do I shoot, Tony? Do I shoot you? Do I shoot? How many bullets? No, how many bullets are left? How many bullets are left? Is there enough for you? Enough, bang, and the gun went off, and the guy playing Snowboy goes, falls so Maria accidentally shot Snowboy. And, there's a play. They carry Tony off, and somebody has to be like, well, 6 people have to carry Tony. Somebody goes off with Maria and Bernard, and okay, somebody drags Snowboy off, just like into the wings. So things can happen, and life in the theater, I mean, it's, Al Pacino's quote about the difference between the theater is like, walking on a tightrope. You're like walking on a line when you're doing television and film. You're walking on a line that's right on the ground right here. It's like tape. But when you're doing it live in front of an audience, you're doing real theater, that line is 10, 13 feet in the air. That's the most palpable difference.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yes, always relax.
There you go. Take it a deep breath and just go.
Thomas Andrew always taught me.
So sometimes we always ask sometimes the what was your favorite moment on set, that kind of thing, but we don't hardly ever ask what was, and it doesn't have to be on the res, it could be on any set, what was like the worst day on set? Just like I'm done.
I worked as an AD off and on in independent television in New York City when I was struggling to find jobs here and there, and I definitely had one of the worst days of my life on a music video shoot that I thought I was gonna have a heart attack right there. I mean, I was woefully unprepared, and not all of it was my fault, but a good portion of it was my fault. And I learned a lot about being a better AD that day, and nothing ever snuck up on me again. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely times when you're coming up that working as an extra, when I was in college, I would work as an extra, and I thought, this is where my career is beginning. This is the first step on the road. Here we go. And you're really hard charging. And the next thing, very easy to get disillusioned in that section of the work. You don't get treated well. You're never paid attention to. The food is terrible. The food is cold. The food is late. The food is wet.
When it's not supposed to be wet.
No,
it's like, airline wet bread.
Oh no.
No.
But you do that, and there's two types of people. There's the people that say, well, this is something I'm going to remember. And then there's the people that say, I'm out. And I was one of those people that say, I'm going to look back on this wet ham salad sandwich.
And it was ham salad with wet bread.
Yeah.
Ham salad. It could have been just about. Yeah.
So is directing or assistant directing, is that something that you would eventually like to add to your repertoire in this kind of a scale? I've
directed a handful of things for the St. Louis Actors Studio, which my friend William Roth runs. We do a thing called the Neil LaBute New Play Festival. And I direct off and on for them. And I enjoy doing it a lot. It's something that growing up as an actor, you work with other actors just to get scene stuff ready for auditions and stuff like that. Or if, somebody's, it starts with acting class. You're basically going back and forth and you're doing the scene, you're doing the scene, you're doing the scene. And then, eventually people that I was doing scenes with would come to me when we were not doing the scene and they say, hey, can you take a look at our scene? I was like, sure, I'll take a look, give you some thoughts, whatever. And it just kept going and going and going kind of organically like that. And I enjoy it. I enjoy communicating what I'm seeing and being the kind of interlocutor between the playwright and the actors. And that's ultimately what actors are supposed to be doing, is interpreting what the writers have set out for us. And, the director's not there to give you a psychological overview of you as an actor. We're supposed to come to the set with our work done.
Yeah.
So that we have our choices in line and we know what's going on. And when a holdup happens, it doesn't take very long. So the director can say, I need to talk to the lighting technician about how I want this to look. You guys do some scene study for 5 seconds and we'll figure this out. It's the overall big picture of it. And it's a blast. It is so much fun to see something that could be tweaked in somebody's choices and intentions and relate it to them and have them open their eyes and say, that's exactly what I was thinking. And I knew I was missing it by this much. Thank you for doing that. When that happens, I'm not saying that that's like I'm a miracle worker, but I am. And it's great to have. It's very gratifying to have that come together. And I really enjoy directing in the theater a lot. And I'm looking to shadow a couple directors this season on our show, because that is definitely a horse of a different color. That is a lot more everyday work,
Mhm.
and a lot of technical camera stuff too. But even I ever heard Kevin Smith say he didn't even know he had to have Bruce Willis tell him, he's like, do you know what kind of lens they were using on that? And Kevin Smith would be like, I don't know what kind of lens you got to know what lens they're using on that. What are you? You're the director. It's like there's stuff that you don't know. He's an auteur, so he doesn't have to go through shadow directing and go through the DGA like I would.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's an aspiration for sure.
That would be awesome. We would love to see you direct,
Sure.
And then you could put yourself in front of the camera that much more.
That's how you rig the system.
a good plan coming together, right?
We would like to
There
see
you
you direct
go.
an episode that's solely Dr. Nolan dialogue and everyone else is just silent reacting to you.
Exactly. Like
That would actually, I would love that.
put it into fours and it just, it's like only narration. Just Dr.
Ooh.
Nolan watching a CCTV feed, judging everybody.
That would be great.
I could see that.
That's
Him
a
and-
brilliant idea.
Yeah, there you go.
In all seriousness, I would watch a whole hour of that. Hands down, no questions asked.
Until the producer said, guys, what happened to our ratings in week 17? What's going on?
They went up.
Skyrocketed.
What episode was that? I don't know. The Nolan Watches TV episode? How could we go wrong there?
Yeah.
I think they've done a really good job in creating a dialogue for you and your character that's interesting. I mean, it's usually when I don't laugh because, there's Dr. Nolan. I laugh because the way you deliver your lines is funny.
Yeah,
As
that's
it's meant to be.
it's all very collaborative. When we go into rehearsal, I throw some things at my fellow actors, Manish. And Manish is often the last person to know. He's rushing in from another set, and I can't tell you how many times Manish has been like, "Wait, are you saying? What are you saying? What are you saying?" Okay. We talked about that. Tasso and I were talking about this. We think that we should say this, and you say what, and he's like, okay, fine. He's got like 6 more scenes today. He's like, just shut up, clowns. Go. Very politely though.
I thought you were going to say it's because he can't keep a secret. That's why he was the last to know.
Right. Yeah.
So without speaking of secrets, without giving away any secrets, where do you see Dr. Nolan in these next few episodes?
I would hope that I don't know what they're going to do. I can tell you that. Let's see, what am I doing in the next one? Oh, I do meet that young man who plays Trevor. I'm looking forward to that a lot. And I don't know. I mean, hopefully, am I wish making here? Is that what we're doing? Nolan is CEO. Nolan is
Yeah, see? Can you imagine that?
ER or something? I don't know.
I would.
As long as it's not Nolan on the ledge, I'm in.
Oh. Awesome.
That only happened once, and it wasn't not Dr. Nolan, but it wasn't Brad's fault.
No.
They won't run that again.
No.
No, in the first couple of seasons, you had some interactions with Matt Zucker's character where it involved Nick, right? In the first couple of seasons. There was like something that you had with Nick, right? You went on a date with Nick.
Oh no, I don't remember that. I'm certain they didn't get me romantically involved with Blondie. No way.
With Blondie. Well, maybe it was some other direction, but I thought it was about Nick. And there was just the way you and Matt's character interact. I thought because he's so serious.
Well, Matt is a nice guy to play with. He doesn't get a chance to. I don't think he gets a chance to alter a whole lot because he really is the plot of everything.
Yeah.
Him and Manish is similar. Manish comes to the scene. He's like, "Wait, what did you guys just do?" Tasso and I can kind of tweak a couple things here and there, because when I'm just passing through, we can just say whatever we want to each other. It's like I will start many takes before the camera's even rolling, just talking to him and having that be the run into the dialogue, so that we time it, so we just sort of dovetail it in there. And he's really good at that. And Matt is fun to do that kind of stuff with too. He likes to laugh like everybody. And so it's, he doesn't get a chance to do a whole lot of that, because he has to convey where the entire ship is going.
Yeah.
So I would like to think that he enjoys doing scenes with me, because things can be a little bit looser. Yeah.
Well, I remember.
Go ahead, Beth.
No, I remember there was that scene too when I think it was season 2, where the power had gone out at the hospital and they do the makeshift OR.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and exactly. And it just, everything's at stake, and then they're not supposed to do that. They're doing that under the radar.
I like that scene a lot. That was a long night. And it was a lot of fun. That was at the high.
Yeah, I can imagine a lot probably went into that, because even just as an overall, like, there was just a lot as a viewer, it was
fire truck, for crying out loud. A fire truck, we had rain hitting the windows, and we had, it's like all that fun stuff, and the kid, the tech kid being like, it seems to be a problem coming from within the building. Like, do you mind? That's really fun. I think that's the premiere of 2. I don't know, maybe.
I think so.
I feel like it was the premiere. Yeah,
that was a lot of fun.
We were talking with Tasso a couple of days ago, and I think that's a good thing about Dr. Nolan's character and Dr. Feldman's character, is that you guys, it's a drama, but it shouldn't have to be drama all the time. And when you interact with those heavier characters, Dr. Nolan brings a lighter side to Matt, to Conrad, because Dr. Nolan's dialogue is just, it lifts it because it's a little bit lighter, and it's fun to watch those two characters interact.
I thank you for that observation. I mean, I've spent some time in a hospital, and you notice that people, it's not necessarily gallows humor, but people don't walk around with a furrowed brow constantly, and there's a reason for that. This is your place of work, this is your chosen passion, your vocation, and I mean, if you're gonna be as dramatic as some television shows, my God, why are you here?
Yes, exactly.
Do you need to change? I think you need to change jobs.
Right.
Yeah,
it's very true.
It's exhausting, can also be rewarding, and there's a fine line there. If you're only showing the taxing and terrible things about working in a hospital, then I think you're missing the point.
Yeah,
absolutely.
There's definite wins.
Yeah. So this is just sort of a fun question. Do you have like a favorite TV show that's currently running that you would love the opportunity to guest star on, or maybe you have a favorite actor or actress you'd want to work with?
Yeah, I mean, right now we're watching Dave, which is on FX.
Okay.
Which is, I think that's mature audiences.
And I don't qualify.
I know Wonder Years shooting down here. I'd like to do a turn on Wonder Years. That's
Oh yeah.
Cool.
I haven't been able to watch that reboot yet.
Down there, Dule Hill, and the same guy who ran Dave is running the Wonder Years, Salad and Patterson. He's got the Midas touch lately.
Okay.
Awesome.
I'm a big Dule Hill fan because I'm a Psych fan. So
yeah,
I was excited when I saw he was a lead in that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You were in an episode of Psych, right?
I was in an episode of Psych. Yes, I was in an episode called Here's Lassie. That was kind of a mashup of every Halloween trope in the genre. I was in the kind of Rosemary's Baby section. It was,
oh my gosh, I remember that.
Yeah, the girl Valerie, I'm sorry, I forgot your last name. She was a dead ringer on the impression of Mia Farrow. It was scary.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Unlocking memories from Marine over here.
It's been a while since I binged Psych. My husband and I used to watch it together. That was like our date night thing. So
yeah,
I still with a third one.
I still watch Psych. I love Psych.
My daughter's like, I have an 11-year-old and a 7-year-old, and they love it.
Especially now, they've got a lot of good spooky stuff.
Absolutely.
This time of year is great Psych watching time.
Yeah.
And Corbin Burns, and we had talked to him a month or two ago, and he said they're coming out with a third psych movie. So
Oh, excellent.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm always, yeah, that's right. They shot that a couple months ago, maybe.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
All right, we've got a couple more questions for you. Jeanette's got some for you.
Mhm.
Well, I just have one more, our
Oh.
final question. Does anyone else have anything else before we move on to the last
No.
question?
Did we ask the favorite moment on set? Did I don't know if we did. We
Oh,
ask?
I think
That's
you
what-
asked the least favorite moment, but I don't know if
the
you
least
asked
favorite.
the
You have the
favorite
most
moment
favorite.
on set.
What's your favorite moment?
My favorite moment on set would probably have to be anytime that I'm on set with a large group of my co-stars. This is really fun because, you know, when you show up and it's just your chair, and also thank you, Manish, for getting my name on my chair.
Oh,
Excellent.
Manish looked at me and said, "Why does your chair still say cast on it, man? You've been here
Oh.
forever." I was like, "Well, I don't know. I'm just cast, man."
No.
I showed up the next week and it was like, "Vroomf." Oh, I got
Aw.
a name now.
Awesome.
Aw.
there you go.
Canadian Michael Hogan was sitting in my chair. What the hell is going on here? These guys everywhere.
I was gonna verify what name did he have put on it. But
Yeah,
it says
right,
Michael
exactly.
Hogan, right?
There's Canadian Michael Hogan on it. I was like, oh, where did we get this? Come on. No, I anytime that I can, that's why that season 4 opener with the wedding. Hold on a second. Come here, you. Come here, you
No.
big- You're the big baby.
No.
Oh,
That season 4 opener is so much fun because so many people were there, and never follow a kid or a dog on stage, right? Was so much fun because so many people were there, and it's just like the part of what's being great about the theater is that, you know, you feel like you're part of a team.
Yeah.
You can have that kind of team feel. Doesn't always happen on a TV set, but like when you see a row of chairs, that's all the people that you work with, you're like, oh, I'm gonna have so much fun today. And like
Mhm.
anytime I get to see Jane is like the best.
A dream.
She is a ray of English sunshine.
Oh.
Awesome.
I don't know her personally, but I love her.
Yeah, you've got it right. You've got the correct impression.
That would be a cool shot for a picture too. Just all the backs of the chairs
Yeah.
lined up with all the names. And
Yeah.
none of them say cast. They all say the names.
This time I've got enough time on set, I'll bring my phone this time.
There you go.
There
it
you
is.
go.
On set years ago because I hated looking down at like everyone, cast and crew, and just they're all just into their phone.
oh,
Yeah.
So I don't bring my phone on set anymore. But maybe I'll start
Wow.
doing it for that possible Instagram moment.
There you
There
go.
you
That's
go.
perfect.
Make sure to
Because it's-
tag us in it so we can see that as soon as it goes up.
And I feel like you and Manish and maybe Jessica are the few who are active on Instagram. Would that be accurate?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call me active. I mean,
Yeah.
I think you guys
Active-ish.
yeah, messaged and I didn't see it. I don't know when that came in. I refused to do Facebook since 2015. I was done with it, man.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, I do like because I get a lot of my golf tips from Instagram.
That's a necessity.
It is.
Yes.
It is. See what I'm doing wrong. Oh.
I just took 35 kids on a youth retreat this weekend, and they're all handing out their social media contacts instead of a phone number to people. And I said, "What? I don't understand why you can do it." And they went, "Are you one of those people who has a Facebook still?"
Oh no.
Whoa!
No.
Whoa! Somebody,
No, I don't have a
somebody
Facebook.
just MySpaced you.
I've never
That's
felt
the-
older in my life.
Wait, you're talking about Facebook. We're talking about something that it's not like you're using a Morse code.
Exactly. Thank you
Carrier
for
pigeon.
validating that.
Which the answer was Morse code.
You would have said that. We actually did a test. There was we were interviewing some people from Cruel Summer, and that's, I don't know if you know anything about that show, but it's supposed to be filmed it's in the 90s is where it takes place, when cassette men's or Walkmans and cassette players were a thing, and the phone with the cord, and some of them didn't know what a Walkman was.
Yeah.
And so with our youth group, we did a thing of act like you're picking up a phone. What would you do? And almost everyone were like,
Oh yeah. Or
"Oh
yeah.
crap!"
I saw somebody go
Whoa.
do this, and I'm like, What?
All the youth leaders and I did this, and all the kids were like, "What are you doing? What is that?"
like surfing.
Like backwards hook'em horns.
I changed
Surfing.
my answer. I want to do whatever cruel thing that is set in the 90s is now. I want to do that. That sounds
There you go, Cruel Summer.
Cruel Summer's an
There
amazing
you
show.
go.
finally something I can actually be an expert in.
The 1990s.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Love it.
I saw a video and it was like middle school or high school and it was retro day, and everybody was dressed like 90s and 2000s, with all the everything and they were saying, I guess
There you
now
go.
we know how our
There you go.
I'm
exactly.
listening. Go on.
Retro day.
That's it. That's exactly it. They said, I guess that's how we know how they felt when we were dressed like in the 70s at Halloween. Or
Wearing their
something.
Spuds McKenzie shirts.
Exactly.
Exactly.
What was that movie that just I just saw it on Instagram yesterday, that it was released in 93, but it was set in 76. And it said that if that movie was made today, it'd be about the graduating class of 2005. And everybody was like,
boy.
whoa. Like, no.
That sounds like it could be Dazed and Confused.
Maybe it was. Was it?
It was.
It was Dazed and
But
Confused. Yes.
by the way, not knowing that, your Texas card now has 2 punches with the Witten jersey and then this.
Well, I couldn't
That's fair.
remember the name. I couldn't remember.
That's fair.
I just saw it. I was
That's fair. There's
scrolling.
queso now instead of just salsa.
Oh, hey, I'll
Bethany,
take
you are
the
making
queso
so many episodes on this
too.
podcast today.
Am I just giving you more for the blooper reel? Is that what
Yeah, pretty much.
There we go.
I just was scrolling late last night and I saw that, but I just didn't remember, like, I should have paid more attention to what I was scrolling to on Instagram. There you
That's
go.
Matthew McConaughey. I mean, that's our
How do you forget?
Texas mascot.
This was not all right.
What you just said was not all right.
Right. All right.
love it.
Exactly.
Matthew McConaughey is probably going to be our next governor. So hey,
There you go. There you go. Oh man.
I'll
So
take it.
Michael, do you have any like upcoming projects or just anything you would want to share with the listeners? Maybe if you want to throw out your Instagram handle so people can follow you and keep up with what's going on.
Yeah, I'm. I don't know what my Instagram handle is. I hashtag Dr. Nolan every once in a while.
There you go.
Okay.
When I take pictures like that are somewhat related to set, I
Mm-hmm.
guess. What is in the hopper these days? I don't know. I did the. I still haven't seen the Aretha Franklin thing I did where I played Sydney Pollock, which was fun. Turtleneck, funny glasses, curly hair.
In the movie about her that just came out?
No, that's with Jennifer Hudson. I did the one with Cynthia Erivo and David Cross, which was such.
Oh,
really-
David Cross. He must be fun to work with.
both of them were just like
Wow.
I did a scene where, so we were recreating the Amazing Grace album recording, which was done at a church in Watts, Los Angeles, and Sydney Pollock filmed it. And, there's scenes where you can see Sydney Pollock, he's got this camera, they hand me this camera and it's 30 pounds. And I was like, and the eyepiece doesn't work. And I'm pretending like I'm filming. I got the funny glasses in my mouth and I'm filming it because I've seen in the documentary, and I look, and I didn't know that she was going to sing, and I almost keeled over. She's so good. It's just unbelievable how well she can sing. It was, I almost ruined the entire take because I was almost like, do you guys hear this? She's so good at singing. Cut.
I bet you people had no idea.
That's out there somewhere. I think that was on A&E. It was the Genius,
Okay.
Aretha Franklin. But yeah, go on IMDb Pro and catch me on catch me on Psych, and catch me on all my old catalog. And one of my first greatest gigs ever was I was called to do it when I was still like, we talked about being an extra, and it was like, someone called me one day. I was sitting in my apartment in New York. Someone said, "Hey, you live downtown, right?" I said, "Yeah." She said, you've auditioned for us a number of times. We know who you are. I said, "Okay. Can you get to 23rd Street by like 2?" I was like, "Wait, what's this about?" we want you to be an extra, a featured extra in this thing on 23rd Street. I was like, I'm trying not to do extra work. I really think it's for a Jim Jarmusch movie. And I was like a vapor trail out of the apartment. And I was in there, hardly had my pants on when I showed up to set and got to do a scene. I was the waiter in the scene with Kate Blanchett and Kate Blanchett together as cousins.
Oh,
And
wow.
that was like one of those things where that's the opposite of the wet ham salad sandwich. It's sometimes like a trip over manna and you just can't believe what's going on, even though it's like my arm and my watch is in the shot. Is the only thing you see of me. You hear me tell her there's no smoking in the lounge. And now I can say I've worked with Jim Jarmusch and Kate Blanchett when I was like just starting out, and I was like, oh yeah, my watch has been in a black and white movie.
Right there.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't think I have anything that is yet to come out. When this is filming, I try and, it's very, they take me on and off of episodes. So I was, maybe I was supposed to be on numbers 2 and 4 or something like that. And they keep shifting them. So it's tough because I have to kind of run it up the flagpole if I'm going to go, if I get an opportunity. I'm always, obviously always looking for work, always looking for work. I'd almost rather always ask forgiveness than permission to just sort of have them be like, no, we want you. And it's like, well, I'm always, that's the great thing about, one of the greatest things about living in Atlanta is how much business is down here. And so I'm trying to do as many episodes of The Resident as possible.
Are you able to do any theater in your off time?
I haven't really, well, especially now with the, COVID. I think with COVID, the theater is going to be the last thing to come back. It is just kind of terrible. The way that's going to suffer is really, it's a mess.
One of our admins works in theater, and she just went back to New York, a couple weeks ago, to try to start getting back into it.
Yeah, I mean the holdups there are big time holdups, and it's not waiting in your trailer to come out maybe a couple hours later. It's the night is done.
Yeah,
be done. The run might be done. What have we invested in? What's happening here? What's going on? I think things like the Delta variant were a real huge setback for Broadway and touring shows, especially touring shows.
Yeah.
So hard to keep everybody in line and just, I mean, people get sick from kids. My friend got sick from his niece who he hangs out with. He didn't know. And, he's the most perfect person that I know. And he's a hypochondriac almost. And, vaccinated or not, you're still 14 days in the hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a real bummer. And I really want it to be done so that we can go back to theater.
Same.
Yeah, I saw it was, I think it was Disney or I can't remember. I think, it was Disney. And they started doing some version of live performances, but they were doing it social distance. Like the actors on stage were like over 6 feet apart. And somebody was like, wow, this is really weird, and it was just
hard to watch.
Yeah. It's just, it was amazing. You can't play off of each other or anything like that. It's just
no. Who wants to see play about people social distancing?
Exactly.
Right.
You go to escape, not to continue to live in reality.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Romeo and Juliet does not work this way.
no.
Oh, that would be so sad.
Even sadder than the original.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So do you have any other socials other than Instagram that we can put up there? No Facebook.
No Facebook. No,
MySpace?
Just my album. No, just that, and I've got an IMDb profile, I guess, and I guess I should be better about all that kind of stuff, but I'm not.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain Matt Zuckery has absolutely zero social media whatsoever, and
Exactly.
he does okay.
Talk about a guy that is just like totally zen. He's just still water, man.
He seems like he would be that way on set, and I've always wondered because you have a persona, and then when you're on set and what it really is, and it seems everybody has the same story of how he truly is on set. He seems like he's like
he is a kind, giving, and gentleman as you get.
awesome.
He's just very, very kind.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. That's why he's playing a role like this. He's a guy who, you hate to see something like that happen to.
Right. He portrays, I think Maureen was saying that earlier too about emotion. Like he just really portrays that well. So yeah, you'd hate to see that happen to his kind of character.
Yeah.
So when are we seeing you next on The Resident? Can you tell us that before we let you go?
I'm in the Halloween episode.
Ooh.
Oh yes.
Yay.
Okay, what can you tell us about the Halloween episode? Don't be a spoiler.
I'll give you a clue.
Can you just email us the script? I mean, that would work too.
Yeah, I'm sure that's all well and good.
I won't mind.
I will say that Dr. Nolan has a dandy performance.
Oh,
Excellent.
That is
Interesting.
cryptic.
Is that- wow.
Since I can only talk about myself, it is a dandy performance.
wow.
Okay. So
Alright.
I'm really excited about
Forward
that.
to. We're so excited now.
I'm assuming there's going to be singing now that you said that. So that's what I'm going to expect.
Musical episode. Mary Poppins costumes.
We usually jump the shark when we start doing a musical.
Oh man.
It would be from the mind of Dr. Nolan,
There
somebody.
it is. Exactly. The whole thing's been a dream, musical dream.
Exactly.
Some really bad
Exactly.
woke up
That would be
man.
perfect.
He wakes up in the break room. Wow.
What? The candy corn was spoiled. What?
What is in that coffee?
So Michael, we really appreciate, you joining us. I'm just gonna close us out here and then you're free to go. All right.
Okay,
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you guys for having me.
we
It's been a
so
pleasure.
appreciate. Absolutely, it's been a pleasure speaking
Thank
with
you.
you.
We're going to have you back right after we do our Dr. Nolan centered episode.
You got it.
There you go.
Perfect.
Thanks again to Michael Hogan for joining us today. It's been a pleasure. For our listeners, please make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more resident content, as well as discussions, recaps, other interviews from our other favorite shows. If you'd like to reach out to us, we love to have any and all feedback. You can email us at familyfanclub2021@gmail.com. Check out our Facebook group. It's The Resident Chastain Family Fan Club. And then you can also find us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. It's FB Family Fan Clubs or Family Fan Club, some version of that. But it was great to have you today, Michael.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks.
So much.
Thank you.
Look forward to seeing you.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
Looking forward to it.
Bye.
Bye.